Whether you have a confident voice or not, this will be detected by people within the first few seconds of talking to you. If your voice sounds strained, if it's too quiet, or if it's fast-paced, like you're running out of breath, then these vocal attributes will tell the other person that you are not confident in that moment. Conversely, if your voice sounds open, if it is full, if it is velvety, and if words flow out of your mouth like honey, then it will sound to whoever you are speaking with that you are confident and self-assured. If you want to achieve the latter because you have an important business meeting coming up, or a public speaking presentation, or you have a difficult conversation where you need to just be really assertive with somebody, then keep watching to learn the 7 tips I'm going to share with you in this video. The very first thing you need to focus on is relaxing your vocal instrument. So I want you to think about what happens when you are stressed or you're nervous, like when you're giving a public presentation. What happens to your body? You tense up, right? Your whole body tenses up, including your shoulders, your chest, your throat, your head, your jaw, and your mouth. All of these body parts, they make up your vocal instrument. And what happens is when you are tense, when they are tense, your voice will sound squashed. It will sound tense as well when you speak, and you will come across to the other person that you are lacking confidence in that moment, that you are not self-assured at all. So if you want to achieve a confident voice, then I encourage you to try to relax all of the parts of your vocal instrument to make sure that your voice comes out in an open and in a relaxed way. Next, we need to talk about voice placement. And what I mean by this is, where in your body does your voice resonate when it's produced by your vocal cords? After that, where does it resonate in your body? Does it resonate in your chest, in your head, in your cheeks, or your nose? Where in your body does your voice usually resonate? Because all of these body parts are different, and wherever your voice resonates within these body parts, your voice will come out and sound very different to people who are listening to you. To try and find the best place for your voice to come out, I want you to do an activity. This is called voice trills. So for this, I want you to inhale a deep breath, take in a deep breath, and then exhale while you are fluttering your lips. So do it like this. Okay, so this activity, once you've done this activity, then you will start to feel where your voice is resonating, from which part of your body is it resonating. And I want you to try to identify the place where it feels most comfortable, where it is resonating. And what this does is it really helps to clear out your voice. And after doing this activity, you will find that your voice is a lot clearer than it was before, as my voice, I think, is clearer now than it was previously. So this really helps you to find the optimal place for you to resonate your voice. But just a tip here, if you want a confident sounding voice, the best place where your voice should resonate is either from your chest, because this will give you a slightly deeper sounding voice, or from your mask, which is either your nose or your cheeks. So trial out these methods using the voice trills and just see what feels most comfortable for you, and try to see which makes you sound a lot more confident as well. Of course, when you're doing your voice trills, you need to make sure that you take a deep breath so that you have adequate air in your lungs to release your voice in a controlled and in a confident way as well. Because if you don't have enough air in your lungs, you will start to talk fast. You start to talk faster and faster just to get out the information that you need to get out before you run out of breath. If you've ever done a public speaking engagement and you've been nervous or stressed, you'll probably be able to relate to running out of air as you speak. Because you are nervous, you can't seem to inhale deep enough. You can't seem to get enough air into your lungs. So you always seem to be running out of breath as you speak. But what do you think happens when you are running out of breath as you speak? It makes you look like you are nervous, right? It makes you look like you are stressed to the other person, like you are not confident at all. And not only that, when you are watching a public presentation and you see somebody who is stressed, who is nervous, it makes you stressed as well, right? You see them being stressed and you feel stressed as a result. So I encourage you to appear a lot more confident. You need to breathe. Make sure you take a deep breath, inhale as much air as you can, and release that air out in a controlled way. Don't do it all at once. Release it out in a controlled way over time. And if you run out of breath, then I want you to pause so you can take another breath so you can continue talking. Now, when you have a relaxed vocal instrument, when you have good voice placement, and when you are breathing properly, then you have all of the variables you need in order to project your voice well. Because all of the different parts that you need in order to produce a confident voice, all of these parts, they are working together. None of them are strained. None of them are tense, which is going to help you sound a lot more confident when you speak. Now, projecting your voice isn't the same thing as speaking loud. Speaking loud and projecting your voice are two very different things. When you speak loud, you tense up your vocal instrument. All of the parts tense up in order for you to push your voice out as quickly and as forcefully as possible. So speaking loud will not help you to speak confidently because all of the parts in your vocal instrument, they are too tense in order for you to sound confident. Whereas projecting your voice when your vocal cords are relaxed, when they're ever so slightly just tapping together as you speak, this is the perfect combination for you to produce a voice that is calm, that is confident, and to release your voice in a controlled way. Now, the key to projecting your voice, it really comes down to your breathing. So we didn't touch on how to breathe in the previous point, but I'm going to tell you how to do it right now. So you need to breathe from your diaphragm. This is the area that is just below your rib cage. Breathe into your diaphragm or into your stomach area. Fill your stomach up like a balloon with air. And then I want you to release that air gradually as you speak. Don't release it all out in one push because that's going to make you sound tense. I want you, and you'll run out of breath. I want you to release it calmly in a controlled way so you have enough air in order to finish exactly what you want to say. Now, once your voice is released and once it's projected, I want you to find a good pace when you speak. Pace is all about speed. So what I don't want you to do is to speak fast, because when you speak fast, this makes you sound like you are rushed, like you are stressed, like you're just trying to get all of the knowledge out as quickly as possible because you want to get out of that situation as quickly as possible. So people are going to read this as you being not confident at all. So your pace should not be too fast, but it shouldn't be too slow either, because if you speak too slow, then people might start to question your level of knowledge about the topic you were talking about. So I need you to have your pace somewhere in the middle, somewhere in between being fast and somewhere in between being slow. A slow-ish controlled pace is what you want to aim for here, because this is going to give people the impression that you are confident about what you are talking about. And the bonus with this is when you speak at a slower rate, it does help you to articulate those voice sounds properly so people can clearly hear you, they can understand what you're saying, and your message can get across a lot clearer as well. So before I mentioned about speaking loud, and I said that when you speak loud, you put strain on your vocal cords and it pushes out your voice and makes it sound tense and makes you sound tense and like you're not confident in that moment. But you do want to speak loud enough for people to hear you, right? That's part of speaking in a confident way. A quiet voice will make you sound like you are not confident. So you want to speak loud enough so that people will think you are confident and people will think that you're really claiming your talking space. Now, when you're unsure of yourself, what do you generally do? You probably speak quiet, right? You lower your voice so you are not as noticeable in the conversation. But when you speak quietly in the conversation, you're certainly not going to give other people the impression that you're claiming your talking space or that you're confident about what you are talking about in that moment. So you really need to find the right balance between being very loud, which is going to put strain on your vocal cords and make you sound stressed, and being very quiet, which is going to also make you look like you are not confident either. So you need to find a balance between the two. What I recommend you to do is to choose a level that is slightly higher than what you would use when you're speaking with a friend, in a one-on-one conversation with a friend. Use a volume that is slightly higher than that, and that will help you to sound a lot more confident. It will help you to claim your talking space, and it will help you to speak in a more controlled way as well. So we've focused on your vocal instruments, on your breathing, on your pace, and on your volume. Now, you also need to remember about your body and how your body plays a really important role in producing your voice and producing a confident voice as well. I want you to think of what happens when you are nervous or stressed. Well, you probably slump your shoulders forward, right? You might lower your head as well to avoid looking at the other person. You basically close off your body and become as small as you can. What happens when you do this is you close off your breathing. You restrict your airflow so that your voice, it has to be pushed out and squeezed out, which makes you sound stressed. And when you sound stressed, what happens? You guessed it, you don't look and you don't sound confident at all. Now, I want you to think of what you can do to reverse this, what you can do with your body in order to produce a confident voice. Well, you would adopt good posture. You would open up your vocal instrument area. You would open up your shoulders. You would open up your chest. You would lift your head so that there is no restriction around your stomach, your lungs, your airflow, your throat, and your mouth as well. You would open up all of those areas of your body so that you can release your voice in a comfortable and in an easy way. I encourage you to spend a couple of minutes or a few minutes every day practicing all of the tips that I have shared with you in this video. I want you to get out your favorite book or an article that you've just come across, and I want you to read it out loud. And as you do that, I want you to try to first relax your vocal instrument. Second, I want you to find your good voice placement by doing those voice trills. Third, I want you to breathe properly. Fourth, I want you to project your voice. Fifth, I want you to find a good pace. Sixth, I want you to find the right volume that you need to speak in. And seventh, I want you to prepare your body for a confident sounding voice. Try this by reading out loud. Try to put all of these elements together, and I guarantee you that is going to level up your voice and it's going to help you sound a lot more confident when you speak. After you've done that, check out my Assertive Communication Skills Masterclass, which is an online course that will help you know what to say when you want to communicate more assertively and when you want to sound more confident when you speak. So I'll put the link for that in the description below. Also, sign up for my newsletter, which I send out on a regular basis. In that, you will get more tips from me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next week in another one.